It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Привет из Соединенных Штатов, пятница. Мы находимся в штате Орегон, в городе Портленд. И в этом доме живет Кэмерон Смит, профессор антропологии, и он в своем собственном доме уже 10 лет работает над космическим костюмом. Давайте пройдем к нему, постучимся и посмотрим, как же это происходит.
Good morning.
Hi, Karen.
Come on in. How do you do?
I am great. How about you?
Just fine, thank you.
So, итак, друзья, мы попали в мастерскую, и это не только мастерская, но и дом Кэмерона по совместительству. Он здесь спит, он здесь отдыхает, и он здесь и работает, собственно. So, Cameron, is it your shop, let's say?
Yes, it's my home, but also my workshop. And it's all mixed together.
Who is this guys?
These are suits built for training for living on Mars. And they are maybe 6 months to make each one. And they're very different from the suits that I use to fly, but they are a step forward to life on Mars.
Mm-hmm. So I can see it's a huge library and a lot of pictures and everything about cosmic space. Can you tell a little bit about your workshop?
Sure. It's the history of exploration. Humanity has been exploring for millions of years, and this begins with the simplest tools, stone tools, or ships made from wood. And now it goes into space with high technology. But these are the stories and the history of ancient people being explorers. And it makes perfect sense for me, I think, to continue this with space.
So, is the real fact like you are creating the spacesuit in your own home?
Yes, all of the parts I've researched. What are the different materials I need? And then I found where to get them. Sometimes it's unusual, sometimes it's very daily life object.
Это невероятно. Здесь живет Кэмерон, и здесь же он производит эти космические костюмы прямо своими руками. Кэмерон, how did you get this idea? When? How old was you?
I was only 10 years old when I was watching the end of the first space race. And I saw the last people walking on the moon, and then the beginning of the space shuttle and the space station. So it was you would see things happening in space every day on TV. But then it sort of went away. For a long time, you didn't hear much about it. It was just the shuttle going up, the space shuttle, and not very active. Now it's even more exciting than ever because you have a lot of companies and a lot of people are going into space, and now they want to go to Mars very quickly.
Yeah, it was only 10,
Yeah.
But you started to do this spacesuit only 10 years ago. Wow.
Right. So that was right. That was the beginning. With the spacesuits, I began working on this about 10 years ago, and I wanted to fly as high from the surface of Earth as I could get with something that I built. And then I looked at the history of early spacesuits, and I saw very simple technologies, leather, rubber, canvas, heavy canvas. And I thought if they could go to 60,000 feet, 70,000 feet in balloons in the 1930s, maybe I can do the same thing.
It's like I'm touching. It's like сокровище. Я не могу поверить, что человек это все сделал своими руками. И вообще лежит как будто человек, реальный космонавт. Только он сдулся немного.
I can get this out of the way to this insanely ugly light. But I don't think about it because I just work here all the time.
So, is it your workspace, workshop?
Yes, everything I do is right here.
On this
so
table?
I lower this down to about here, and then I do all the work like right there.
Wow, can you tell me more about this
Yes,
spacesuit?
this is my flying suit, and this will get me into the 50 or 60,000 feet region, and it maintains oxygen. It eliminates the carbon dioxide that I exhale. It keeps pressure so that I don't get decompression sickness, which is what you get at extreme altitude. And it also keeps my temperature regulated, not too hot and not too cold. All of those functions have to be achieved by the suit. And there are a lot of things that you can't see. For example, inside, there are a lot of straps that are used to give the suit an appropriate posture.
Wow.
When the suit inflates, in fact, when you try it, you'll feel it. The suit starts to go like this, and everything goes away from you. And you need these restraints to hold the suit together. And that's what all of these are for.
It just tape, or what is it? It's like
This is a
это выглядит как просто скотч
yeah.
цветной.
This is a rather specialized manufacture process, but I learned how to do it. And it is using heat and pressure to bond together certain plastic materials. And these provide the airtight function. No gas will escape from the suit. And this keeps a bubble of human atmosphere around you. And again, you'll see that when we put this on.
I think usually this kind of suits, space suits, people making in big university, like special laboratories with a lot of helpers, scientists, but you are doing it in your own home. And where you get all the parts? What the cheapest one and usual one for everybody? What the was pretty hard to looking for and found for this?
Yeah. Yes, you know, for the space agencies, they do build them in the clean room and not any speck of dust or any germs or anything like that. But I'm not a space agency. I don't have to worry about those things. I'm flying my own balloon. I take my own risks. And so the way that I do it can be very different from others. But I don't want to die, so I make sure that it works also. And we're doing it very slowly. So I fly to an altitude, and then I come down. Next time we go a little higher, then we come down. Next time a little higher. And every time I learn more about how to improve the suit. So the materials, a lot of it is is no different than any other. For example, here is a normal zipper to get in and out.
Обычная молния, ребята, и впереди и сзади. Why it's like zipper back on back and front?
Yeah.
Why is it?
Yeah, so this one, when I fly my balloon, I am way out in remote places. And when I land, it may be a few hours before people can come and pick me up. I'm in contact on the radio, but I tell them, you know, here's my latitude, my longitude, come and get me. It may be hours. I will get overheated in this suit. So I have to be able to get in and out of this suit by myself. And with some of the suits, training suits, you have to have somebody help you get in. This suit I made specifically so I can get out by myself. And that's why the zipper goes down the back through and up here.
Сейчас мы спросим про то, как же справить нужду в таком костюме. Do you need to use some diapers, if I can ask?
So far, my flights are only 2 or 3 hours, so it's not a problem. Someday I might think about that, but right now I don't have to worry about it. Yeah.
But tell me if you can, I want to ask again, what's the cheapest part and what's like was really hard to looking for and found for build this spacesuit?
Yeah, most of it is very common materials. Here's a valve that controls the gas going in and out of the suit. And I have to make sure that it is safe for pure oxygen. So you have to clean it in a certain way because I breathe pure oxygen in the suit, which is a fire hazard. but it's not a particularly expensive piece. All of the material to build this is only about $2,000. And the real cost in making these is in the time that it takes to build them. And they are very carefully tailored for each astronaut or cosmonaut. They can't take any risks, right? It's $100 million for one seat to go to space right now. They can't take any risks. I definitely understand that. But I don't have to worry about those things. And so I tailor this exactly for myself, for my own size. So it doesn't cost so much. Other materials are the straps, the webbing, and this tensions the entire suit around me so that I get a good, useful posture. I had to look for a very special kind of plastic for the bubble helmet. I used to use, when I began, I used the helmets from the old Soviet Air Force. And you get these...
Советский шлем, друзья.
Yeah, these are great. The engineering is beautiful. There's the simplicity and durability of the engineering is unbelievably beautiful. But it's more than I need. It's too heavy. It's also, this is about 50 years old, and it's got a crack in the visor. So I learned a lot from this. But then I decided I'm going to make my own.
So it's Soviet Union things,
Yes.
And where you get it?
eBay.
Heavy. Тяжелая штука.
Yeah.
eBay?
eBay.
Ты сейчас можешь купить что угодно на eBay, кажется.
And on eBay you'll get fakes, but this is definitely a real one. And you can see the simplicity of the mechanism. So this would be attached to the suit. That's what this is. Okay.
Yeah.
And then this, so beautiful. You see these studs that come out.
Oh, yeah.
They simply drop into here. If you can line it up.
Yeah. I can see this feathers.
Yeah, if you can just rotate it until it drops into the notches.
I think it's somewhere over here. Yeah.
And then it sits down, and then you see this lever.
Yeah. Wow.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
That's all there
it's
is.
so easy.
Yeah. But it pushes that bar right across those studs, and then the helmet cannot go up. Because when the suit is pressurized, everything wants to go up. Yeah. So, yeah, beautiful design and really interesting. I used it for years on some early suits, but I wanted to build everything myself. So.
Yeah, and where did you get this special plastic?
So we started with the plastic. So this plastic has to be very durable.
Oh my gosh.
Has to be very...
It's like treasure for me. Это как сокровище, потому что человек трудился 10 лет над этим, можете представить? И собирал все по чуть-чуть, с одной точки мира и с другой.
Well, that's the great thing, is that they're not delicate. You see the boots are very thick and very heavy. The gloves are heavily reinforced. And you see, I've flown a lot, right? Beautiful.
Oh, wow.
They've taken the shape of my own hands now.
I can see that you use it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And that's what I like also. It's not stuck in a museum or with the Air Force or something. I use it. I use the suits a lot.
See.
Yeah. And they're not particularly delicate. I make repairs when something goes wrong.
Oh my gosh, I can see like special labels. Вы должны увидеть тут.
Oh, I just have a couple of funny things here.
Такие специальные нашивки.
This one is a UFO taking a person away. It says, "I want to leave." And then one of our early balloon flights, one of our team members made this patch. There's the balloon.
I love it. So it was special order, especially for you. Someone did it.
I bought the plastic bubble from a company. This is rather expensive, and it's a specialty item, but still less than $500. and it does the job. Now, if you go to a space agency, you would use a double. You'd use two of these, right? One, two for safety. And I can do that. I could double it, or I also have these shields, and now it's protected, right? One is protected by the other.
And it was your special order, and you send them like your ideas, your some
Yes, they're almost
projects.
almost no pieces are special order, but this part is. Yeah.
Вау.
Yeah.
Этот костюм похож на костюм пожарников. Я хочу спросить, насколько он устойчив к огню. It's like suits for firemen, right?
In many ways, it has to protect you from fire. Also on the inside, though, because I use pure oxygen inside the suit, there's a fire hazard. So everything inside is non-flammable. So even, for example, here's a pad for the back of my head. That is not flammable. It can't burn. So that is important, that everything inside is non-flammable. A lot of work goes into the gloves because you really need to be able to work the controls, my radio or the power for the balloon, that kind of thing. And it's a terrible feeling when you can't do what you need to with your hands. And you can feel there's a metal ring inside here.
О, вау, да, это какая-то здесь рамка.
Yeah, it goes around here, and that prevents the glove from ballooning up. It will swell up with the pressure inside if you don't have that.
Нужно было продумать, короче, каждую деталь, чтобы это было комфортно. You have to think about all the small details, right?
Yeah, but you learn them. So first I was wearing the suit and I'm flying the balloon, and I needed, after a while you realize I'm getting sore. Okay, what can I do to give me more mobility in my gloves? And you can see, I even just cut a little slit
For moving?
at each knuckle. And that allows the glove to open up just another, half centimeter. And that improves the mobility. So
It's natural leather, right? I can feel
yes, that's just leather. Yeah. So there are 1,000 details inside the gloves.
Вау. Тысячи мелких деталей внутри. Он так серьезно подошел к этим перчаткам.
You see there, you can feel those. Those are metal rings, 2 of them. And they're attached in a way that gives me mobility like this and mobility like this.
You ordered these gloves somewhere?
No, the gloves are commercial fishing gloves that they use out at sea, but they're very thick rubber and well insulated, and they do exactly the trick.
Can you tell me how you found all this part?
Yeah, so the wrist mobility is very important, and there's a way that I can build a set of rings inside the wrist area, and it's only a few degrees, but it's worth it. It's much better than just having your hands stiff like this. And so I needed a ring, a continuous piece of metal that was oval, not circular, because that fits the hand better. And what I found was these online, a nice steel oval, good metal, and I can cut this into pieces as I need. And this is a dessert mold. This is for pouring in chocolate or ice cream or a cake, and then you take it off. But it's exactly the right size. It's the right shape.
It's not very expensive.
It's not. I think it's $11.
Wow.
And it's very good stainless steel. And I cut this, and I can make enough rings for 2 gloves from this one piece.
Tell me please about these boots. What's special on this? Or you order from fishing store too?
The boots are rubber boots, but I have reinforced them. There are reinforcements inside to prevent gas from escaping, because we have to keep that bubble of gas at high pressure around the body. You see, I've put these fixtures so that the straps will not fall, come off of the boot. And again, when the suit is inflating, you need all of those straps to stay where they belong.
Yeah.
So I put this in. That's a minor thing. And then they have an attachment. And they're bolted onto a hard ring.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So quite simple, and they do the job that I need. And the job for the simpler spacesuits is also quite simple. So
How about all body? It's was making especially for you, for your size, or it just
yes,
who did it?
this one is tailored exactly for my size. Some other people have tried it on because I learn a lot. I used to think I would only learn about the suit by wearing it, but then I started having other people wear it, and I learned a lot also because I could observe and see what's going on that I could only feel. Anyway, so this is tailored exactly for my size, but
Who did it? Which material? Where you find it?
all of the textiles are found online, and I look at various suppliers. This is a
Special fabric.
very special. This one is quite special. You have to go to the right company. These are textiles for race cars, race car driving, race car technology.
Yeah, I see.
But it's the right material, and it's a little bit expensive, but you can find it and order it. And then I learned how to assemble them, and I can show you that.
Как вы можете видеть, это целая мастерская. И он здесь живет, здесь есть его и кровать. И для того, чтобы сохранить место, он ее поднял высоко, прямо к потолку, чтобы у него было место для его вот таких разработок.
So
wow.
I started with very simple sewing. I would just use a sewing machine and I put together a very simple thing. But I've started to learn how to use patterns.
Oh, wow.
So this is the beginning of a
You learn a lot of professions.
Yeah, very weird stuff, right? I never thought I would have any, that I would learn how to use this geometry. But I learned, and it's very useful. This is the
Это лекало для того, чтобы сделать костюм.
the beginning of one side, yeah?
Для того, чтобы скроить такой костюм. I love it. It's such a great idea. Oh my gosh, it's real science work.
It was a lot of fun to learn it. And now, I didn't know anything about clothing before, but now, like when I look at a piece of clothing, I'm like, I wonder what I can learn. What can I learn from that?
Getting back up to that first step,
Ну, вот, в общем, ребят, мне интересно, мы спросили про его костюм, и здесь все ясно, здесь все шилось для него. Ну что вот это за костюмы? Я сначала, когда зашла, подумала, что это 3 человека каких-то сидят здесь и будут участвовать в интервью. И для чего он их шил? Давайте спросим. This is your own space suit.
This is my flying suit.
You're flying.
Yeah,
What about this?
These are training suits for learning how to walk on Mars. So they're a very different design. These allow you to walk around, whereas this one, I sit in my balloon or I stand and fly the balloon. And I don't need so much mobility with this. With these, you need a lot of mobility. So they have even more engineering inside the suit so that you can take steps, so that you can reach up and down. You can get down like this on a knee. In this suit, when it's fully pressurized, you really don't do that because I'm basically standing in my balloon and flying it.
Did you do them for yourself, or it's just order, you will sell it?
These are for friends, and some are for the Biosphere, which is a research station in Arizona, where they are training people to learn how to live on Mars.
Will you sell it for them?
Well, it's not a business. It's more that they will donate some money toward my flying expedition.
I see. Yeah. It's like barter.
Yeah.
Good. So this is pretty nice. Короче, есть энтузиасты, которым интересно все это дело изучать, и они вот так друг другу помогают и поддерживают. So I will try one of them.
Yes, yes, this one is best, and that means we'll put 2 of these away.
I want to ask why it took 10 years. I understand that it's big work and you have to learn a lot of things, but for real, 10 years, it's a lot of time.
It took 10 years because I wanted to understand everything. So that means I have to make everything. If I'm going to trust my life to this suit, I want to know that every millimeter is something that I built. So I had to learn how to make every piece.
Mhm.
And yeah, that's 10 years of research and trial and error. So I would make something and then test it, and it breaks. Okay, that's one weekend. Now, okay, spend the rest of the week thinking about it. Next weekend, try again. It breaks. Next weekend, try again. It breaks, but I'm getting closer to a solution. And so it's extremely frustrating and very slow. But then I learned that the frustration is you have to move away from it being frustration and say, okay, I learned something now. So the way I think of it now is I've learned thousands of things that don't work. But that's good to know because I know, okay, I don't have to go down that path. So I had to learn thousands of ways that don't work, but that showed me the few ways that do work. So that's 10 years. You know, the number of hours. If I paid myself or somebody paid me for the hours, you know, I'd be a millionaire. But no, the materials themselves for each one of my flying suits only a few $1,000s, but the expense is in the time. Mm-hmm. And you know, my life is dependent on the technology, so it has to be really good. So if I make a slight error, I start a new part of the suit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Was it dangerous maybe a couple times in your life? Like when it's broken something, when you used to be on the air?
So far, no. The flights have all been safe. I'm getting used to it. You know, when the suit is on and you're restricted in your movements, you can't fly the same way as when you're just wearing normal clothing. And so the first flights were a little bit scary. You have to have confidence that, you know, that you will be able to do what you want to do. Pull a rope or turn a switch or activate the radio. But I'm getting used to it. You know, you get used to a fear by doing it slowly, a little more, and then it becomes, okay, this is reasonable. But getting for it to be reasonable, that's slow, but it's exciting too. The most expensive physical object is the helmet bubble. It's a very special plastic, but really the expense is in the time, the number of hours to assemble one of these. Yeah.
Да, в Америке принято платить за работу за каждый час, и так рассчитывается заработная плата. Я даже боюсь представить, сколько часов он потратил, чтобы все это создать. I think you didn't count how many hours you spent for build this. It's years.
Yeah.
10 years. It's a huge number already.
So, yeah, one of these maybe in a rush, maybe 6 months to build one of these. Mm-hmm. It's closer to about a year to get it really proper. It's a little bit different. They're all still rather different. I'm still experimenting. So each one is different. And even of the pair, right, there's another red one. They have slight differences so that I can evaluate different things. Sometimes, for example, the left glove and the right glove will be slightly different. And then when I'm using them, I can learn, this one is better. So yeah, it's still experimental.
Mm-hmm. I think most of the cheapest one, it was this thing for desserts, right? $12.
Yeah.
Did you count the weight, one of them? How heavy is it?
My flying suit, the balloon is powerful, so I really don't worry about the weight too much. And I haven't, I think they're about 12 kilos now for the Mars training suit.
12 килограмм.
Yeah, for a training suit. For a real Mars suit, if you took it to Mars, there would be a lot more metal, and so it would be rather heavier.
Oh my God.
But again, for training, this is to get people used to the idea and just get them started with learning some new movements.
You have to be in very good shape and have a lot of power if you will train on this, right?
It will give you the shape.
Really?
Yeah, it will.
It's like
It's a workout.
workout.
It's a workout. Yeah.
Okay. How often do you wear them? Like every week, every day?
Normally, once or twice a week, I will put them on, pressurize, and evaluate some design decision. And some of them you need someone to help get in. So this is a training suit, and I made it specifically so that you have to have help to get in, because I don't want students doing it by themselves. They can get hurt. But my flying suit, I made it, like I said, so that I can get in and out myself. And it's a very weird thing. Nobody's here. It's late at night, and I decide, okay, I'm going to do a test. And I climb into this weird thing and turn on the pumps, and I'm standing here pressurized in this weird thing in my place late at night. It's a weird existence, but it allows me to, to continually evaluate. Like if I have an idea, oh, I want to try this. So having a suit that I can put on myself is useful in the design process also.
So do you have some helpers who help you, who works with you, and like some friends who do the kind of same things?
Yes, I have a team of interested people, and we have a name. It's Pacific Space Flight, and we just needed a name. We're not a company or anything like that. And they like balloons, they like flying, they like the technology, and they help with the flying operations and sometimes with building and testing the suits. That team has been since 2013. And people come and go. Most of them are much younger than me, so their lives are, they have to get a job and they move to somewhere else. So the team has been very fluid over 7 years. But I'm lucky to have them, and they help a lot, and it makes it a lot more fun. At first, when I first started building this, I didn't even I didn't even tell my girlfriend at the time. I thought everybody was going to think you're crazy. Then finally, okay, first person I told was my girlfriend. I said, will you come and help me with this thing? Then slowly, I think I had a blog and a photographer saw it, and then he came and shot a picture. So slowly it started to, other people began to know about it. But at the very, very beginning, I was scared that people were going to think I was crazy. So the first year, I didn't tell anybody.
That's so interesting. Why did you start to build this space suit? Maybe it will be more easy to buy from NASA, something like that?
I wanted the challenge of making my own. I wanted the adventure of flying. I think those are really the reasons. It's a very different thing to build it and then wear it and know that your life is dependent on something that you constructed. I think it's like the difference in seeing a picture of a piece of ice cream or eating the ice cream.
Oh, wow.
I want to eat the ice cream, not just see a picture of it. So I want to build the suit and fly in it, not just buy one from somebody. You can go on eBay, right, and find not just the helmet. You can buy the Russian spacesuit. It's called the Sokol, which I think is Falcon.
Yeah.
You can buy a Sokol spacesuit for like $20,000, $30,000 on eBay. I don't have $20,000, but it can be done. But that's not interesting. To me, what is interesting is learning how to build it, how to make it myself.
Did you know if NASA sells something like that?
No, NASA is a gigantic machine. It's a big system, and they're doing their own thing. And
Not for commercials, right?
no,
Not for selling
no,
something.
no.
Yeah, maybe SpaceX will sell something.
SpaceX is making their own spacesuits now. Actually, I went to SpaceX at the very beginning, briefly. Can I get up for a moment? I'll get right back where I was, and I can show you. They hired me to do a little bit of work early in the process. Green tag means employee,
Wow.
believe it or not.
Wow.
So I went there for a couple of months, like 2015 and 2014. And then I started also to realize that, maybe this isn't so crazy, that if they think that I'm onto something, then maybe it's more realistic. I mean, I felt good already, but it felt good to have have them say, come and tell us about your suits.
We're talking about the balloons and everything.
Yeah.
I think it's a good question. I want to ask, where you testing your space suits, and you can tell about the balloons.
Yeah. We fly, my team and I fly a variety of types of balloons in the very remote area of Eastern Oregon. And it's absolutely beautiful. It's like you're on a different planet. It's a desert. And the great thing is there are no obstacles. So when I land, I'm not finding power lines or running into highways or houses or anything. I'm landing in a desert. And that's very good for safety. But it's a big project. You have to get 6 or 8 people, with their camping equipment and their food and everything for about a week or 3 or 4 days or something like that. You drive 10 hours to get out there and then hope that the wind is okay. If the wind is just a little wrong, you can't fly. So it's quite a project. We've done about 6 of those, and we've reached 25,000 feet, and we are going a little bit more and a little bit more. And people commonly ask, like, when are you going to do the high flight, right? That's very hard to say, though. It's very hard to say, because we might make a flight and then think, okay, I need to adjust something. So we come home, and maybe it's a month to make that adjustment, to get that fix done.
So, Cameron, can I try the spacesuit?
Yes, absolutely.
Yay, guys!
This one is specifically made for training. So, yeah, let's do it.
Oh my God, I'm like princess. Space princess. First leg went. Первая нога пошла. Так. Сейчас мы попробуем. Hey, I got gloves.
Okay, you're reaching the glove?
Yeah.
Here. Okay, what I'm going to do is grab this ring.
Так, я меряю костюм космический, который создал профессор антропологии Портландского университета Кэмерон Смит. И ощущения невероятные. Мы снимаем репортаж для канала «Пятница». Yeah, I feel. Yeah, I feel it. Вау, guys. Ну что, мы в скафандре находимся. Guys, если у вас есть какие-то намеки на клаустрофобию, это приключение не для вас. Хорошо дышать обычным воздухом. Без этого давления. Видели, мне сказал Кэмерон, что я должна вести себя так примерно, как в самолете, хорошо попытаться позевать, продышаться, чтобы уши не заложило, как при перелете. Ну, на самом деле, я очень рада, что мы закончили эту часть съемок. Впечатление, конечно, невероятное. Если ты клаустрофоб, то вообще лезть туда не стоит, потому что сразу панические мысли атакуют тебя, но он достаточно комфортный. И можно было в нем двигаться и даже танцевать. Это было очень здорово. Это было классно. И вообще такое забыть, конечно, невозможно. Если вы прыгаете с парашютом, и вот без специального шлема или там вы на трубе катаетесь, то вы можете ощутить, когда ветер тебе в лицо, и так трудновато дышать. Вот примерно те же ощущения внутри в таком вот скафандре, в таком космическом костюме.
Get back up to that first step. It isn't collapsed too far, but it's adequate to get back up. Roger, we copy. Pretty close to